I just drink wine.
Welcome to the Whine Situation, the show that unwinds wines with wines. Hawines with wines.
Hawaiians?
No.
I'm just kidding.
we...
Not yet. Not on this episode.
Oh.
It's a show where we ask people what's bugging them the most, and then we pair a wine to go with it. It's kind of like a wine for a wine.
Yeah, a wine for a wine, because Sean and I know, between the two of us, we have some good wine knowledge. Sean helped open Bar Covell. He is the wine whisperer, as you may have heard me say before. He knows what's good to drink for you, for your mood, for the weather. He just looks at you and his brain goes bing.
Well, thank you very much, Ellen. I'm glad you said that.
You're welcome.
No, I don't always whisper. That would be creepy. Ellen, you actually have credentials, though, to back it up.
I have a pen or two.
A pen?
They do give you a pen.
Oh, that's right. You have the pen that you put on your...
Yeah, they give you this cute little pen that I could wear if I wanted people who vaguely had a clue about getting wine credentials to be like, oh, look at that.
The Wine and Spirit Educational Trust with a W set.
I've got the green pen. That's the advanced level. I don't have the red pen. You have to do two.
Oh, you don't have a red pen? I'm sorry. Could you please get off this podcast?
The red pen is like the people in that documentary Somm who, I would need to stop existing and breathing for 2 years and then... I mean, I might do it. The course starts this summer.
Why not?
Why not?
Always a good time to stop breathing.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So that's our collected wine knowledge, right?
And this is why, we hear lots of people whine with the H about things, and we're like, why not make it better?
Why not wine?
Why not wine?
Why not wine?
Why not wine?
I think that's a great segue to introduce our next guest, who we're
Yes.
so excited to have, and I'm just beaming, looking at his face. It's Price Peterson.
Hey guys,
Hi,
He's
Price.
beaming back.
He's beaming back. It's a beam fest.
it's a real beam fest. What a pleasure.
Aw.
I've always felt whining is better when you're just getting drunker.
Yeah, right.
Man.
When you're slightly sipping an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
We're trying to make the world a better place here.
I feel like that's how most problems are solved.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
With a touch of alcohol and talking about our
little bit of-
complaints.
Verbal therapy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone knows you from your TV.com recaps of Teen Wolf and award shows and Vampire Diaries.
I mean, everyone knowing me is a strong phrase to use, but
I'm
I have
gonna
done
say.
this. Yes, it's been for 5 years now. I will watch a show, take screen grabs, write a dumb joke. Somehow the sun comes up while I'm doing it, and then I sleep for 12 hours and rinse, repeat. It's great.
And then we all laugh at it.
And they're so hilarious.
I would
It's so
hope. Thanks,
funny.
God. Oh man,
But
that's so
also,
nice of you. Thank you.
Supernatural. I'm going to call that out. The
Yeah.
Amazon show, the animated show you guys did.
I dabble in television in addition to recapping it. So yeah, I have 2 failed pilots under my belt. Proud of at least one of them.
But I tell you have what excited me the most. That you have another.
Oh yeah, I got a new job. I'm writing on a TV show called Heathers. Yeah.
What?
If the name sounds familiar, it's because it's based on the movie.
Only one of the best things ever.
What? That's
It's-
so crazy.
Dreams come true, but like many dreams, they are also nightmares. It's so terrifying. What if I get it wrong? Everyone I know loves Heathers. What if it is a disaster? We're trying our best not to make it so.
Well, then you'll have to come back on the show with your wine.
Yeah, you're
Just apologize.
apologize.
Or the apology tour.
Well, I was going to say, you could just complain about the general public and their opinion.
Yeah, I thought everyone would love dubstep more than they do. It's just a lot of pop culture jokes. No, it's actually really, really fun and crazy. I think what I'm really excited most about showing the public is just how dark and crazy it is, which is the least we can do to honor that valuable property.
Of course. I think you guys are going to do a great job.
That movie was one of the darkest.
Do you know
That
it
kind of-
predicted school shootings? Basically, it predicted a
Yeah.
lot of things.
And
Heathers is
orange juice poisonings.
It's the most
All of
important
those.
problem of all.
The safety level of our orange juice.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into your
Let's get some
wine.
other
I'm going to
juice.
open the wine that we've decided to
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
pair.
I am
But
thirsty.
if you want to just start in on it, go for it, Price.
Well, I have an issue I'd like to whine about for a while, for a very long while. I mean, this is a 6-hour
Well,
podcast.
this is your
Yeah.
time.
because I have a lot to say. Look, I know there's a lot of problems in the world, and it feels weird to just narrow it down to just one. But I think I can.
But that's what we asked you to do,
I
so you're just stepping up.
So my problem is It's actually more of an environmental problem, which I find I'm very passionate about the environment and animal rights and things of that nature. Things of that nature being nature itself. And so my problem is, if you spill, I will love it.
I will not
laugh.
spill.
I did bring paper towels.
I've filled countless numbers of glasses with liquids.
That beautiful sound of wine pouring. That's some expensive Foley sound effects you bought.
Yeah, right. These are all real.
All real. Listen, I want to talk
Practical
about.
effect.
I want to talk about the orca today. Now, I don't know if you've heard of a documentary called Blackfish. It's very new. It came out about 8 years ago. But look, it's about SeaWorld and having orcas in captivity, and I found it really troubling, and I'll tell you why. SeaWorld for years has been like basically presenting the orca as this like cuddly creature for families and children to enjoy.
Right.
But orca does not deserve to be treated like that. And by that I mean like with fondness and smiles and laughter.
Right.
The orca is the worst creature on earth.
The killer whale, right?
It is a killer. It is a murderer. It's a murderer of the ocean. And and so the takeaway from Blackfish is that the orcas should not be extinct. And what I'm trying to say right now is I believe they should be.
Oh.
Wow.
Listen, in the million-plus-year war between the animals and humans.
Let's get a quick cheers before
yeah.
we launch into this.
Cheers.
I think we need to start drinking.
Cheers. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm very thirsty.
Yeah.
And I'm actually kind of losing my temper right now because I'm
get
so
it.
mad about this.
Let me get you worked up.
Now, what is this?
Well,
This is an
should
Alianico.
an Alianico, yes, is the from
Puglia.
Castel de Monte, which is in Puglia, by Tormaresca, and they have named it because Italians just name their wines 500 different ways. Bocca di Lupo, but the important thing is it's Alianico,
Yeah.
which we felt went by with orcas for like a few reasons.
Yeah, for a few reasons. One, just like if I was going to name an orca, I would probably name it Alianico.
But I have to stop you right there, Sean.
No?
Do
Okay.
not give
I
these.
thoroughly
There's
agree with
no
that.
humanity to be
There's
said
no
in
humanity?
those dead
Oh.
black eyes of the God's worst mistake,
Wow.
which is what the orca
Well,
is. And
We also wanted a killer whale of a wine, and
Okay.
Alianicos tend to be pretty intense. So
it
we're
is very
like-
intense. The alcohol level is just.
We wanted. I feel like Alianico, it
hot.
beats your mouth up. Like when you drink one, it's not good unless it's like it leaves you feeling a little used and abused.
I feel that I have just sipped on darkness itself,
Yes,
which, as we all know,
exactly, yeah.
is what the orca is made
Right.
of.
That's why we picked this.
Like your mouth is a seal.
My mouth is a seal.
It's been beat up.
I murder for pleasure, much like the orca,
Yeah.
and this wine just really puts me in that kind of mood.
Well, I think like SeaWorld like wants us to think the orca is like the panda of the ocean. But
Same
that's not a
colors.
panda.
I
That's
mean-
not a cuddly panda.
Let me tell you, I am not here to defend SeaWorld. In fact, I mean, the fact that they are no longer having orcas and there was a bad PR, like, great, they deserve it. Because for years, they spread propaganda that was pro-orca. So this
Yeah.
is just the chicken coming home to roost.
Right.
And, swallowed several metric tons of tuna along the way. The thing is about the orca is they are murderers. They are a mistake.
What all do they murder?
Well,
Besides their stupid trainers
I
trying to ride
will
on
tell
them.
you what they've murdered. They've murdered seals, dolphins, other whales, most of my family,
Marion
otters,
Cotillard
sea
and
lions.
Rusty
I know. I was going to
Bone?
ask, is there like a personal
Yeah.
question to this?
Well, I want you to.
someone fall in?
I need you to know right now that I'm unbiased. Okay, like even if my family had not been murdered by an orca, I would be against them because they are just like they're wet Satan.
See, I went on a whale watching trip and we saw an orca and it didn't do anything to us, but it wasn't particularly it was pretty coy, like it was a little annoying. It made us kind of chase it to try and everyone's wants to see the whale and it just wouldn't surface.
That's part of the game. Like they want you to think that they're just sort of just playing or flipping their tails
that's
out
what we
and
thought.
jumping up in the air and doing Lisa Frank style pink fireworks stuff, but they're not cute. They are murder. They have their breath is the breath of hell because they do nothing but crunch the bones of the innocent. And so what I'm trying to say is, there's been a million years of humans and animals battling, and it's been a tough one. But humans finally have the upper hand, I would say. The orca, though, is just.
Is the orca on its way out at all? Is it one of the more endangered species, or
Yes,
is it?
technically yes, which I think is maybe being optimistic on our part because I think we can trust that they'll be back, and I think if we don't get rid of them now, I mean, what can you do?
Like any good killer, they'll be back.
We'll find a way.
I mean, you've seen a lot of you've seen 80s slasher films. You've seen maybe perhaps the film Orca. They don't mean well, and they will be back.
How
Do you
feel
feel
about-
like there will be ghost whales? Oh.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Ghost
I
whales.
was gonna
Yes.
say, do you think if we do
I do, and that's a whole other, that might be another episode. But I do think that animals have ghosts, and I don't think they are nearly as charming as other people might think. Ooh. Just imagine like all of the ferocity and malintentions of the orca, but in spectral form. It can cross through walls. It doesn't have to be in the ocean.
God, you're right.
Imagine walking through a haunted house and instead of like seeing an old Victorian man rattling chains, you see an orca just chilling.
Yeah,
you will not enjoy that.
I'm not sure which I would be more scared of.
Yeah.
The ghost orca.
Orca, yeah, for
sure. It's chilling my blood.
Disney, we are pitching you the Haunted Ocean. The follow-up to the Haunted Mansion.
They have that called the like Pirates of the Caribbean. Like wait until the final boss is like a ghost
until
orca.
The pirates are dead because the orcas got them.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about like Free Willy, the whole Free Willy franchise?
Oh my God, it's like the birth of a nation when it comes of animal movies. At the time, I'm sure it was meant to be well-intentioned, but I think we can all agree it has not aged well. It is problematic, and the biggest problem, of course, is that Willy is portrayed as a nice creature and
deserves freedom.
That part where Willy jumps over the jetty and the boy is touching its genitalia, I always find that to be very chilling because now Willy's free. And guess what? He has a long memory of anyone who has ever wronged him, and that includes audience members that ever laughed at him. Right. He will one at a time pick them off. Keiko was the orca's name, and let me tell you, that is like worse than Jaws.
So it's kind of like Final Destination.
Yes. Yeah. I would not be surprised if Keiko hasn't already exacted much revenge like throughout the ocean, the Oceania region.
Was Keiko one of the Shamus, or was?
Keiko was Willy, was Free Willy.
That's right.
Right, but I mean, where did they find when the casting director was auditioning all the little whales? Where did they find Keiko?
Open
hell
casting call.
They opened they
as
opened a
we
hell
all
mouth.
As actors know from casting rooms, they are hosted in hell.
Yes,
frequently.
no, I mean it's it happens all the time. You open a hell mouth, lower a crane in. With a claw hand, and guess what comes out? An orca, a wet demon.
A wet demon.
And then they start reproducing, and next thing you know, they're just like looking at your children and just like saying, "You wait, I'm gonna be, you're gonna be waist deep in me."
Well, did you see Rust and Bone, the French movie with Marianne Cotillard, where she gets her legs taken by an orca?
I have not, but I think we can all agree that is probably one of the more accurate ways to portray an orca as a leg eating mischief maker. Did you enjoy it?
The movie is great, but I mean, mostly for the scene where Marianne, so she's like one of those people who does the SeaWorld type shows and where they have the music going and she's like one of the trainers pointing and telling it where to go. And then there's a big mishap. She falls in, her legs get chomped off like right around the knee. She, of course, has like been passed out by all this. So she comes to in the hospital and she doesn't realize that her legs are not.
They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah. And she tries to get out of bed. She's like, what am I doing here? And she tries to get out of bed and falls on the floor. And there's the scene with her screaming. I mean, it's classic Marianne Cotillard. Like, she's so good.
Classic.
Just screaming, mes jambes. Like,
in whatever gibberish language that's in. I mean, but you can see the emotion in her face. And she deserved that Oscar.
Can't be bothered to speak that.
But I think that's a film that should be shown in like classrooms. Like don't trust them.
I mean, she kind of tries to come back to the whales, but the story is about her, not the whales. But mainly,
Classic
I mean, it just
Hollywood
shows you.
lie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure, it's made in France, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
There's like a weird like
classic Hollywood with the.
Like I want to say like corrupt society of people who are pro orca that have somehow like.
I would say it's a pretty large swath of society.
Yeah,
it happens every now and then. It's a mistake.
Yeah,
and I'm here. I think that's probably what I'm most whining about is that like the sheeple out there.
No,
it's like sheeple just marching one by one into an open mouth of an orca. That's what's happening here. And I'm not. I'll be the Cassandra figure. I will curse to the heavens.
Yeah,
I'll be the oracle of orcas. The oracles.
The oracles.
Orcacle.
Orcacle.
That
the blind orcacle.
That and they are smart.
The finless orcacle.
I will tell you this right now. Much like the dolphin, which is a genius, and they are all like rapists and murderers. But like at least they have personality. An orca is just as much of a murderer. In fact, but like they're smart. Like they will plan a genocide of human beings.
So do you have harsh feelings towards dolphins too because of the whole rapist factor?
Dolphins? Well, I mean, I'm against sex crimes of all kinds.
Right.
I think
Of course,
that
we all agree with that.
yeah, I think we
Offend
can.
or not?
Like, is this like in this room? Am I in
Safe
a
space.
safe space? Okay.
Safe space,
I'm
talk
against
about-
rape and I'm against sex crimes.
Yeah, you can see that.
We're with
I mean,
you on
sex.
that.
I mean, non-consensual sex crimes. Because some of them are just kind of like wacky laws from the 1800s that some of them are fun to break. But anyway, so yeah, no, I think dolphins. Dolphins. First of all, have not eaten my family, so that's like one thing in their favor. They do murder for sport, but it's also sort of like I don't know. They're playful about it. They're cute about it.
They're smaller.
Yeah, they're smaller.
They make adorable little noises.
They do, and also some dolphins are not garbage. Like some of them, they'll push a 3-year-old back onto the dock or something.
Right,
Like
yeah.
they'll save lives. Probably just to amuse themselves. Not out of any kind of good.
Right.
Do we have any
intention.
dolphin movies?
Well, there's Flipper.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
that one with the missing tail, a dolphin's tail.
A dolphin.
And
You mean a dolphin's tail?
And I don't want to drop this kind of bomb on you, but there is a sequel to Dolphin's Tail called Dolphin's Tail TOO, perhaps. I don't know. I can't remember.
As in also.
And
Tail
so there's certainly pro-dolphin propaganda out in the world
Okay.
that I don't approve of. However, as long as we stay away from the orca as tragic creature that needs to be released into the ocean, that's the mistake. In fact, they're better off contained in small pools at SeaWorld because at least they can't get into mischief there.
Yeah, and then we know where they are.
We know where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can find out.
Round them up.
I mean, they're not jumping out at
So how does this manifest in your daily life? Does this prevent you from?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, any kind of large shiny black thing,
Yeah.
like perhaps a car or a Mercedes, my heart will race because
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh no, it's out of the ocean. It's happening. I also, I'm careful when I swim in the when I swim in the seas. No, I don't do that anymore unless I'm just trying to be closer to my dead family because they were all eaten by an
Tell
orca,
us
but-
the story of your family and
Tell us the story of your dead. You don't tell the story of your dead.
Well, mother and I,
About that.
mother and father and I and sister and.
Were you out in the skiff?
Well, yeah, we were knee deep we were collecting mussels and clams by the jetty, and mother, of course, had already lost her legs, but that was not orca related. That was just more of a motorcycle accident. But I will say that it made it tougher to. So she was down in that brackish mud. She was amongst the anemones. And I simply turned around to play some sort of jolly sport with father and sister and just for 5 seconds, and then I turned back around and guess what? There's a beached orca just eating the shit out of my mother.
Wow.
And I don't mean that literally. I mean he was eating all
All
of
of her.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was obviously not something I was pleased to see, and I screamed mother, mother, mother,
Yeah.
get away from her, sea beast. And I was very young. I was about 11. And
I'm so sorry.
and then so
sorry
I was
about
dealing
that,
with that, and I turned back around, and guess where father is?
In the
Ankle
mouth of the
deep in the
beast?
mouth of another beast.
Trying to save
Another
mother.
beast.
And then the
Heroic.
two orcas high-fived, which I didn't even know they could do that.
What?
But both my parents in one fell swoop eaten by orcas.
I'm so sorry. It's
God.
horrible.
And then what should I? And then I turn around and I was like, sister,
Did
do
older
you see what
sister-
happened to mother and father?
Yeah.
She was.
And she.
I'm sorry. What year was this?
This was 2009.
Okay. You guys sound like you're
Yeah. So
around turn of the century. I'm
In
sorry.
your
Go
linens
ahead.
in the jetty.
it was outside of it was on a Greek island.
Uh-huh.
And so I said, sister, did you see where our parents went? And she just she ashed her cigarette into a clamshell and said, fuck it, I'm moving to America. So she did end up dying, but sort of because of the orca situation.
Mm-hmm.
She kept
So-
smoking.
She had very tarred lungs.
Yeah.
But that being said, I still blame orcas for her eventual demise.
I mean,
blame
it
you.
was one thing led to another.
Yeah.
It was a series of events that I think
Orcas,
we all
lung
regret.
cancer.
Yeah.
Boom.
And
I'm so
I to this day I believe that orcas gave my sister lung cancer. So that's one more reason.
One more
It's not
reason.
just their powerful jaws; it's their
Ability to
bad
cause cancer.
vibes and bad energy. Yeah.
Bad energy.
I'm really really sorry to bring the sentiment of the room down. I mean,
No.
I brought this story
No, I
hoping
mean, this
to
is why we
create-
have a dark wine to
Yeah.
go with it.
this wine
Dark
is
and aggressive
A
wine.
dark and aggressive wine.
I mean, for an Alianico, this is actually a little slightly friendlier one, a little less tannic than some can be.
It's a little more rounded, a little softer, a little more supple.
A little more licorice, a little less abuse.
It's a beautiful shade of red. It's almost blood red, I would say.
Yeah, another reason why we wanted to pair it up with orcas.
I mean, I haven't seen a liquid this red since my
Sorry.
family.
We didn't mean to.
Was
We
he-
didn't
was-
mean to bring it there.
I'm trying to bring you back.
It's okay. I mean, they weren't like that great, my family, but like the orcas,
weren't that great.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm not like real steamed about the orca
Right.
situation still.
I mean, I would have a beef against.
Have either of you ever touched or fingered an orca?
No, but I tapped on a SeaWorld window once when I wasn't supposed to, and Shamu came
You
right
are
up.
marked.
No, I got in trouble with the staff there because Shamu did come right up, and Shamu was not. People were not supposed to tap. And Shamu was smiling at me though, so I always thought.
The most sinister smile you've ever seen.
But he was behind glass. He knew he was safe.
Yeah, you are marked though. You better believe when the tides come in,
Jean.
global warming happens.
Jean.
Will
they're-
my jambe be taken?
They will know.
My legs.
They'll remember you. Mejam.
That's what.
That's what she
Very
was.
on site.
She's like, my jambe, my jambe.
She should have got another Oscar for that.
She should have. I
Isn't there a real like hunky like guy who like
Yeah,
fucks some
he
happiness
falls-
back into her or something?
Yeah, he does. Exactly.
He like
Exactly.
looks past the,
The
missing
story
legs
was less
and,
about the whales, more about fucking the happiness
Yeah.
back into her. I mean,
like
she
you
deserved
may
it.
not have any legs, but you're about to have a third leg. Mine. Is that
Wow.
that's a sexual thing to say,
a good
right?
recap. Sean was going to answer the do you have up close and personal?
Whale stories?
What's your
Yeah.
whale journey?
My-
Orca journey specifically.
My orca journey? Well, as a young boy growing in the Pacific Northwest, outside of Seattle on a small island, it was just me and my two parents, and I had no siblings,
No sister.
no sister,
To go with mother
no
and
brother,
father?
just mother and father. And oftentimes I would walk out to the edge of the dock and just throw pebbles in the water and watch the water ripple.
No friends either.
No friends,
To
but
tease
one.
the ocean is a
one
folly.
dusk summer evening, a giant head popped out.
Not a mermaid.
Was it a slick, smiling bastard?
Was it black and
Slick,
white?
smiling bastard.
Did it look friendly?
It did not look friendly,
Oh.
and it nudged my bare foot as a threat to say, "Don't disrupt my gentle calm with your stones." and
Neptune sicked his hounds of hell
Yeah.
on you.
I think
That day.
I think I dodged a bullet that day.
You heeded his warning.
Yeah, I heeded this warning.
You ran far away from
And I ran,
the
yeah.
docks of
Yeah.
the northwest.
But I think he knew that I was an only child, and therefore spared me. You know?
I think that's giving the orca too much credit.
You think so?
they don't have that much humanity to them.
You're right. They don't. They don't. We're gonna ask you some wine questions.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think about that? Did I tell you we're gonna do that? It's a surprise.
Yeah, this is our lightning round.
This is our lightning
ding,
round.
Ding, ding.
So this is not a safe zone, is what you're saying.
This is
because
not
I
a
am-
safe zone.
Trivia.
I am being blindsided.
You're
there
being
will be
blindsided
one
right now.
winner. It's either us
Oh.
or you or the wine.
Oh my gosh. So there will be a loser in this room.
Well, I don't know.
All right.
You
I
tell
knew.
us.
I knew this was all an elaborate prank to
Just to
take
try-
me back
yeah.
to middle school somehow.
We'll start out easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
Okay, I got
questions.
one.
Okay.
Do all wines need to be aged?
I'm gonna go with no.
Ding, ding, ding,
Ding ding ding. That is correct.
You won that round.
Do you know any wines that don't need to be aged that you can think of?
One time I left a melted popsicle in a glass and poured some tequila in it, and it was good to go. It tasted better than most wines I've ever had. So
Oh.
So tequila popsicle?
yeah,
Tequila melted popsicle?
I would call it was more of
Not
a like,
exactly a wine, but we'll give
it's a
that to you.
Malbec.
Yeah.
Ish.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, Malbec-ish. I mean,
A
yeah, a
Malbec-ish,
little tequila melted popsicle never hurt any. It's just like you didn't make your own wine
That
growing
actually sounds a little delicious
No,
to me.
yeah.
What
Wait.
flavor of popsicle?
up. Grape, of course.
So you took a
Yeah.
grape popsicle and you mixed it with tequila?
Yeah, maybe a splash of balsamic in there, and then some wine.
Yeah, I mean
That's how
that-
most wine is made,
That's
right?
all
I think so.
grapes
Yes.
and vinegar and sugar.
It's all the same thing.
And I know
Natural
most
yeast,
wine
surely.
is just rotten. You know, you got to make it rot a little bit in
Yeah.
there. Is
It's
that the
just-
right word?
Yeah, it's just
like
rotten
Yeah,
juice. I
rotten.
think it's called rotten
It's
juice.
rotten juice.
Rotten juice.
Rotten juice.
The technical
Juice.
term that I was tested on in all my pin acquiring tests is like, what's the real term for wine? And we were like, rotted shit. And I scored 100% on that
Really?
question.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rotted shit.
That's the scientific term.
Mm-hmm.
Throw you another riddle.
good
This is like pertinent to what we're drinking. What are tannins?
Oh, it's these blonde twink twins who hang out at the Abbey in West Hollywood.
Bing, bing, bing.
Thank you.
Oh, the tannins.
Everyone has a tannin story.
I thought those are the tanners.
Well,
Well,
no,
I think of the
Tanner
Tanner twins on
The Tannin twins. Oh,
Tannin
and
twins.
trust me, girl, you like if you run into them at a Hills party.
Yeah.
I mean,
trouble?
watch out.
Oh,
Just like
watch
blank
out.
out the next 3 days of your schedule because they will take you on a tour.
Yeah. They're just always chewing gum and blowing bubbles.
We'll give him a half point for that.
Yeah, I'll give you a half point for that. These are the tannins.
Yeah, I mean the other answer is it's the sensation, it's the stuff in the wine that like it's part of what makes you feel like used and abused by this wine. It's like you drink it and you feel that prickly like imagine that imagine a cat was licking your tongue and it's like prickly and drying and you're like ugh.
Oh, that's what someone told you about it? I like that.
So it's like the acid?
Yeah.
Well, that's what no, not so much the acid as the drying, like
It's the
feeling your
dryness,
gums
yeah.
and your tongue.
Oh.
Someone described it to me like as if you leave a tea bag in tea for too long.
Tea has a lot of tannins.
And,
Black tea.
and your mouth feels all fuzzy. It's that vibe. Like that's what tannins are. But tannins allow for like structure for aging and stuff. It's like
Yeah.
if you think about like a honeycomb.
This
like
was a
tannins are like a
2000
honeycomb for the structure to hold the honey.
Okay.
This was a 2010, and I was like, I feel like it could have gone longer, but
probably could have
I
gone longer,
needed
yeah.
like, I mean, Alianico, that was the name of our pet extinct whale.
Yeah.
So we
The
popped
whale
it
that
open.
we wish to be
I
dead.
gotta
For
say,
you.
I am not shedding any tears in that story. I'm so sorry.
So
I'm sorry for your loss, but like happy for humanity.
Okay, so far you have 1.5 points.
1.5 points. You're doing good.
Yeah, no,
Thanks,
this
guys.
is
You
good. This
know.
is better than like we expected.
Yeah.
You know, listen and see.
Okay, I have another one for you.
Okay.
Okay, what is Shiraz called in France?
What would Marion Cotillard call it?
Shiraz.
Isn't it? I mean, aren't they all named after towns? So isn't it like?
But it's kind of a trick question.
What's the grape varietal called in France?
Yeah, there we go.
Shiraz?
Yeah.
That's my answer. Shiraz.
K Shiraz.
Yes.
Okay, well, we are even right now because one for Sean and I, it's Syrah.
Oh,
It's
Syrah.
so close. It's so close.
I thought
to be
Syrah is a kind of wine. Is that's the grape and Shiraz is the wine?
Shiraz is grape
Shiraz
too,
is
but
the
just
grape.
Australians play by their own rules.
I thought that I
Yeah.
had put a liquid in my mouth called Syrah.
You
Yeah,
have.
you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
They grow it other places besides France.
It's the same grape.
Basically, in Australia, they like to call it Shiraz, and it tastes quite different because it's like real hot there, and it gets really jammy and fruity, and like yeah.
Oh wait, is what you're telling me is it's Syrah usually, and Shiraz is in Australia.
That's just what they call it in Australia. They call
Yeah.
Syrah Shiraz.
Okay.
And you can know if it's called Shiraz. It's probably going to taste a little different than you would expect of Syrah,
Yeah.
which can get a little
Okay.
gamey
But
sometimes.
genetically, it's the same grape
Right.
grown in both places.
Okay. So if I were to walk into like a Ralph's or a Vaughn's right now, and I want this, what is the sign over it going to say?
This would not be found. This that we're drinking right now.
Well, I mean, is there a Shiraz section or a Syrah section?
You would see both. If it's a California wine, which is what in most grocery stores you'd find, you'd probably see it labeled as Syrah.
Yeah. If there's a California section, it's going to be Syrah. If there's an Australian section, it's going to be Shiraz.
Got it.
If you look at the yellowtail, it'll definitely be Shiraz.
All right, suppose I'm in the gas station and
Okay.
I need like
You're probably going to find Shiraz if you find
Yeah.
any Syrah
Okay.
varietal at all.
now I
Now we're
understand.
talking.
Yeah.
All right.
That's just called Boone's Strawberry Hill.
Okay.
What's
Yeah,
your
Shiraz.
go-to
Shiraz.
if you're going to go to wine?
If I'm gonna go to wine,
If you're going to go
Go
to
to
wine,
wine.
I really like a
you have-
white wine, and I'm just gonna keep it simple and say Sauvignon Blanc,
Yeah.
which is a
nice.
French for like so white.
I mean,
Is that out?
Yeah, super white.
I mean,
the Blanc part is that I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So white.
for sure.
Super white, yeah.
Super white.
white.
I don't know. I just like a good dry, like crisp thing that won't stain my teeth. They're already quite yellow.
Sorry, we probably like have done a number with this.
A half glass is going to be just fine for you.
I definitely have a cannibal teeth right now drinking this, but it's worth it because it's delicious.
Cannibal Tooth, that is a new one, and I like it.
It's also the name of my synth pop band. We have a show at the Satellite this
Cannibal
weekend.
Tooth?
If I can...
Do you really?
Cannibal Tooth. No, I do not.
You guys
I
have
would,
residency?
believe,
Wait.
I would A, believe that,
It's a
and
little
B,
dark wave.
want to go see.
Yeah, it's Witch House Darkwave. It's great.
You're
Hope you
talking
like
to like only recovered goth, so I would,
Oh my
I would like
gosh.
go see that. If it
I do
were
like
true.
you've introduced color into your palette, so you're not quite as goth as you could be.
I put on the color. Sometimes I wear pink dresses. It happens.
I was going to say,
But like as an act of sarcasm, or just because like you're feeling like a pink
There's nothing
moment?
more goth than a pink dress.
Oh,
Ellen is wearing a dark maroon overall.
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much black, but It's a little bit of color.
No, but I mean, like, she's bursting with color.
She is
compared
bursting
to
with
most
color.
goths. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm mostly recovered because, I drink pink, I wear pink, and I'm wearing red right now. So
This wine's pretty goth.
this wine is super goth.
And it's in a goblet.
And it's in a
more or
goblet,
less.
too.
These are my goblets, but and to be fair, I inherited them from my grandmother. I brought them here because we wanted something like indestructible,
Indestructible, yeah.
and these are. Because I've tried to like throw them against my wall and they haven't broken.
Like,
the wall
what's
has.
that story?
I asked her that too.
Why am I talking about orcas
story.
when you have a
Okay.
wine glass against the wall story?
Here's the story is this was like 5 years ago. My best friend Maurice and I were sitting on my couch drinking wine out of these glasses. And he's like, what would you do if I threw this against your wall? Because he likes to ask theoretical questions he thinks are going to be complete nonsense. And I'm like, well, when I moved into my place, it's a condo. And I think whoever got whoever got foreclosed on like punch holes in the wall all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I have this one door. We're going to get rid of it eventually because it already has holes. We can just like throw this glass against my door. So we did.
Oh.
And then recently,
I was really thinking it was going to go in a more Tennessee Williams direction.
Yeah,
no, and then, well, but we did. We were like, I was like, think of all the people that made fun of you when you were a wimp in high school, and he was like, run through it, and like it lodged in the door. So there's this hole in the door from that year. And then recently it was his birthday, and I was like, for your birthday, you can throw that against my door again, because he like enjoyed that. And so we had another throwing session. There's another hole, and I actually like if you were to be at my place, you'd see on the door like I have them labeled the years,
And
the
you-
reason.
So there are wine glass indentations in
Yeah,
your
but the
door.
wine glass didn't break. If we'll start an Instagram for this
Grandma
for this
knows best.
podcast, and I'll have Grandma had some badass glasses. They've been through
like
something.
Let's just throw this against the wall.
I need a wine glass that will survive.
These are the things
Apocalypse.
that happen when I'm around my friend Maurice. He's just like, let's do this, and
Have you replaced the door yet?
no.
Okay, why not?
I mean, as long as I can throw something against
Yeah,
it.
now
got
it's
character
like, yeah,
now.
like
it's
now
got
it's like
holes with stories.
now it's like a piece.
Well, I was hoping it would be more of a like, well, I found out my lover was sleeping with my father, and I don't know.
I
You
mean,
know.
I had probably just been like, we both had our own things to
Oh,
rage against that night that we decided to throw the wine glasses. So
What a treat.
What a treat! Just getting to
Just,
dark wine.
It's sort of dark outside. I feel like okay drinking.
yeah, it's like kind of cloudy.
Yeah,
kinda
it's-
cloudy,
it's-
dark
it's
It's
outside.
been a little
Also just
dim all day.
Dark in
A
the
little dim.
energy, you know.
Yeah.
too.
I mean, killer whales.
I mean, well, the darkest of
the darkest of energies.
the like water demons that are like prowling our harbors as we speak. Yeah, if this doesn't send chills down everyone's spines, I don't know what will. They're thinking about murder right now,
It's really a public service announcement.
Yeah, I wasn't aware.
and everyone's like, oh, endangered species, please make them extinct. Like, there's all these other things that are going extinct that are totally chill, that I'm fine with. Like. Obviously, like humans versus animals, like all animals should be wiped out eventually. That's because what? Come on, pull your weight. But like the rest of them, but if we have to choose an animal to go extinct, the orca should be like the first thing.
What's the second?
Fruit flies, and then then after that, it's
Fruit flies are out of control.
out of control.
Not good. Especially if you leave wine up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like that's a big wine.
Do you guys
problem.
have a big wine fly problem?
Yeah, like any
No, 'cause I
any
drink it
bar
all.
or any place that has alcohol
Yeah.
has a huge fruit fly problem.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, we live in Los Angeles. I feel like you've informed your listeners of this, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason, in the past week, there's been a real fruit fly issue. Like in our office, there's some. I mean, it's like a cleanly place. It's a clean place. And they're there. They're just and they do that thing where they go right for your face, like children in a Sally Struthers ad. There's just fruit flies in your face, and it's alarming and upsetting. And so like we're all like swatting at them, but like no one else in the room can see them. So it really feels like we're losing our minds and
Crazy person.
like things aren't there. So it's like an existential state. The fruit fly situation.
So definitely second.
I think there's also like these like gnats that are happening too.
Yeah, no,
that
those
are
have
like,
been in my home.
Yeah, I've definitely had those, and you have to like.
Do you know how to catch 'em?
Bleach your drains.
Well, you do that for sure. Like leave no standing water in your sink.
Yeah.
But you can also like set out a cup of, like, or maybe like a bottle of water, like with a bottled water thing where it's like a little
Like a
opening at the
trap.
top, like a trap.
I'm familiar.
And then you put like sweet
My
like
mom
apple
used
cider
to leave
vinegar or
out
something.
beer for slugs.
Yeah, and then they all
they
like
crawl
fly
in.
in and then they can't fly out.
Yeah.
So that's one way to do it
Yeah, apple cider vinegar is a way to do it, and then also beer or wine
because they die when they
Yeah.
get in it.
lure them in, and they get stuck in there and they can't get out.
We're all on the same page, but I hate this conversation because the fruit flies are disgusting, and I'm already feeling like
So
my
sorry.
stomach
Let's
is
ask
turning.
another wine
It's my
question.
fault. I brought it up.
Okay. This here. I'll make this one even more.
Yeah.
Like, so in Germany, what is you like a white wine? And
I do.
What grape?
I'm a middle-aged divorcee. No, I'm not. Sorry, go ahead.
You look so good for you.
I don't know. Wait, just as I have a question for you guys
Okay.
at the end, but like let's continue your question.
Oh no. What is the main when people think of dry or sweet white wines from Germany? What grape do they tend to think of?
Oh boy.
Most people know is like people a lot of times think it's going to be sweet.
Like if you were at the Olive Garden, it would be
Yeah,
sweet.
and you ordered this.
Oh, like
as a white wine,
prosecco type thing.
not bubbly.
I don't.
Just name all the
Moscato,
white-
like Muscat.
Ooh,
Well,
that's
that
a
was
good
a good
guess.
guess.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Not for Germany, maybe, but
I know that's Italian, but yeah.
but close for that. Yeah, we were
Just
do you want-
easier.
yeah,
Lay it on me, man. What is it?
Riesling.
Riesling.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I'm a real dunce. That's a pretty major
Right
one.
there. No, like
Well,
Prosecco and like Moscato, it's like way
Yeah,
more highbrow.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely got like back end points on
Yeah.
that.
Some back end.
Yeah.
It's the first time in my life got some back end points.
You just got some back end points.
That's a little industry joke for you guys.
In case you guys don't know.
do
we
you
work in
guys-
the entertainment?
So I
business.
went to New Jersey
Yeah.
once. I was dating a fella. I'm coming out on your podcast right now. But I was dating a guy, and I went home and met his family, and all of them, without fail, would add juices or sparkling sodas to their like wine.
You know,
And
I
that
say
is-
whatever makes people happy they should do, although it's a travesty sometimes.
And I mean, I didn't like. I could sort of maybe see the like white wine and like Sprite or something. You know, like make it a
Yeah.
spritzer. I guess my then boyfriend's sister like put Coke in red wine and
Oh no,
claimed
that's
that she,
that's the Spanish like drink.
That's a thing?
That's a thing, and I've tried it, and it's delicious with cheap red wine and Coke. It's a
Really?
yummy, refreshing summer iced drink.
How do you what do you mix with what?
Just like
Table wine or
yeah, table red wine and Coca-Cola.
It's also like the country that brought you sangria, which is basically like sugar and
Yeah.
fruit.
it's just sugar.
Yeah, and mixed with like crappy red wine. It's
Do you-
basically,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
It's to use
to
up
cover up the
cheapness of the wine.
The cheapness of the
And
wine.
as wine aficionados, both of you, like, do you ever like see someone ruin a glass of wine like that, and like a tear comes down your face? Like, why? This used to be my playground. Like, what is happening here?
Well, I recently brought over a nice. It's Lambrusco can be pretty not good, but Pronto makes really great dry Lambrusco, and I brought some over to a friend, and she didn't want me. She doesn't like. I knew she wasn't gonna like it. She doesn't like dry wine at all. But she like went to the fridge and got some cherry juice and added it to that.
Oh my gosh.
It tasted good though.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, well, that does taste yummy mixed together. You're not appreciating the wine, but you don't like dry things, so.
Yeah.
My dad did it once on Thanksgiving
Oh.
because I always buy really nice wine for Thanksgiving. And
Did you
I,
swat it out of his hand?
I
What did
opened
he
it.
do?
I opened it and put
What
it on
was
top
it?
of the refrigerator to hide it. It was like a nice Pinot Noir from Russian River.
Yeah.
And he like just grabbed it. It's like, oh, it's open. And my dad drinks everything on ice, like beer on ice, wine on ice, and like he'll buy like the box of Franzia,
Oh.
put it on ice with like a lot of lemon.
Well,
I
Franzia,
mean-
you
and
should
he's
put
like,
on
it's
ice with a little
delicious.
Headache in a box.
Exactly, headache in a box.
Oh.
So he did that, and he just poured like half the
Yeah.
bottle over ice, and I just
Yes.
very upset.
It's just on
and he
that.
felt
I
really
would be.
bad too because
Yeah.
there was like a
Yeah,
lot
like
of
half
people. You
the
know, it's like
bottle.
it's like the holidays, so everyone's like milling about and like having a good time. And I was like, oh, what have you done?
Yeah. No, similarly, again, this is that same trip when I went to Jersey. My first time in New York. We went into New York and then New Jersey, and I was meeting the family for the first time, and I like was freaking out about like I have to bring something. So like let me get a bottle of wine. What kind of like wine does your mom like? And like I worked really hard. We stopped at like 2 different places so I could find this really nice bottle.
Right.
And I wanted to spend some money. I wanted it to be really nice. I wanted to like impress her. And so I gave it to her, and she was like, she was touched.
What was it? Do you remember?
I mean, it was a red because I don't know what it was, but it was just, I mean, it was in my
a
price
nice
range.
wine.
It was like that. I don't know. And then like I gave it to her, and she was like touched, and then like she opened it, and I was like, oh, cool. And then I turned around, and she's like poured a Snapple into her glass, like into the wine, and it was just funny that I was like, I was basically got
Worrying
in a
about the wine
almost
she's gonna-
relationship ending like argument with my then boyfriend about like, no, I need to like, and he's like, no, you don't need to, and I'm like, yes, I need to, like, I can't be, I wasn't raised in a barn, I have to like, but it was like a lesson I learned about. I should have just listened to him. Like she doesn't value that, and I should have just been like, whatever. But it was, I do remember seeing like the like peach Snapple being poured into, and it was like, I don't know what's happening here.
Like what is going? Yeah, I mean, like, and that's why like. There are certain wines at a certain price point where like only people that are really into wine and are nerds about wine will appreciate the specialness of it. It doesn't make it any more delicious to anyone else. It's just the nerds that are like, oh, it's this?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I get to drink that experience knowing that. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But other than that, like you can find great wine that's really affordable, you know? So like that's why it's like the price of wine gets really subjective. You know?
What's the most expensive wine you each have tasted? And do you know how much it went for per bottle?
So I have a friend who, he's a graphic designer, so he does all the label designs for the San Francisco Wine Contest, which is and he gets to bring back as part of his payment 8 boxes of wine. That's like about 100 bottles of wine, and including like everything. I mean, everything's entered here. So he brought Armagnac de Brignon, which is the Ace of Spades, which like what's the rapper who endorses it?
Ace of Base.
2 Chainz?
No.
Jay-Z?
I think it's Jay-Z. Yeah, who
One of the like
and it's
moguls,
like
probably.
a pimping bottle that's like, and it was a rosé champagne that's like pink and shiny, and he just like got to bring that. It's a $500 bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
True champagne.
Oh yeah.
From like the region,
From Champagne.
and we were having my birthday party at his house, and he's like, yeah, pick out like what bubbly you want to open. And I was like, can we open the pink one that's like, and then I pulled it out and I was like, oh, the 500 one, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I get all this free. And so it was really good. Would I pay $500 for it? If I had Jay-Z's money, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Did you find it to be any
But
more
you
delicious?
might someday have.
it was one of the most. I mean, I'm not a big sparkly wine person, so it was one of the like more favorable ones I had, and I of course had to walk around my party like holding it and drinking it out of the bottle because that's what you should do when you have
course,
$500.
Can someone please take my picture?
I still have the bottles.
Hashtag.
Someone, please,
Yes.
please don't make this a selfie. Someone take my picture, please.
No, the bottle is definitely on my like.
Display.
Yeah, because it was good, and because it is a cool bottle. Right. But
For me, it's like a two-way tie. One is it was at Spago, and it was a Madeira, but it was from 1842, and it was $150 an ounce. So, like, just for
How many ounces are in a bottle? Like 24.
750 milliliters into an ounces.
Let's do some math.
24 ounce,
Yeah,
about 24.
Milliliters.
Probably 24,
ounces.
maybe. Yeah. So probably very, very,
Metric
very
system.
expensive.
I
Yeah.
was at a whiskey bar recently, and they had $1,000 shots of like Japanese whiskey
That seems
available.
great.
That just seems stupid.
It seems
It's
stupid.
just more. It's like
we didn't
it's
order
more
that.
about just ordering it. At
I
that
bet it
point.
tastes better.
And that's the thing. Like, I mean, like necessarily
It's
getting
not
better
my-
over time. It's more just like with the knowledge of it's 1842.
Yeah.
But that's a tie with the Henri Jair Riechberg that I had from 1980. But that's like you can't find that in the United States, so it's like kind of priceless here.
What
but
even
someone
is that?
brought it over.
Say that slowly.
Producer Henri Jair in
One of the
Burgundy.
crews. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in
One of
Burgundy.
those.
Like I know Jeffrey Chambertin.
Yeah, Riechberg, Riechberg.
You've drunk priceless wine.
Yeah, I've drunk. I mean, Covell is a nice
Priceless.
Yeah,
it's
you're
kind of a nice
lucky
priceless.
you-
Like the kind of wine that like Carmen Sandiego might try and steal.
Yeah,
It's like
but like at that point, it tastes the same. You know what I mean? Like it really is just
Yeah.
because you have the knowledge of it at that point.
Right.
Some very, very generous people have brought some really amazing stuff into Covell.
well,
Just
you tend
interesting
to taste
think-
everything. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting just like when you're tasting something that old and like if it is held up, you're like, wow,
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just
I
cool.
get it.
Can you tell when you can tell how, like if something's old, like you can tell just by tasting it, or
Yes,
depends-
for sure. Because
well-
it tastes like a fancy old dusty library to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
get
that's when
more
I can always
those-
tell what there's age
Yeah.
for that. Yeah. When it smells like a
Like
tastes like cork.
leathery, they get the
Tastes like-
leathery.
it's leathery, but like
earthy-
I always just feel like grandma's library. I always just
This
think
was an old barrel for a long time.
it's just what wine does. It starts to get funky. It just starts to turn in a weird way. But it smells like a dusty old book or like a fancy old book or library, something like that.
So you want to drink a library, then
Yeah.
get rich and do it. Okay.
But certain wines, it's like they show at different points, and the fruit, and like it's more about how the structure maintains over time, and that's a whole other episode, though.
Yeah,
That's
that's a whole
fascinating.
other educational episode.
That's science.
That's science. But I think it's bringing us to a close.
Our final question.
Our final question.
The most important one, because we like to end on, like, this has been like a very, doom and gloom episode, which is, that's important.
Tell me
We're
about
here
it.
to whine about our
Don't
wines.
blame me. Blame the ocean.
And there's a lot of, effed up stuff going on in the world right now.
This is true.
particularly
Oh, yeah.
in the depths of the Marianas.
Yes, exactly. But on that note, what in your life right now is bringing you the most joy?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, it's not to be lame, but I really like my job.
Yeah.
It's been a dream.
Totally.
First of all, as you mentioned, I was doing recaps, which were like 5 p.m. till like 5 a.m. It was like a crazy schedule I was leading every night. And so now I have this like essentially 9 to 5 job. And then I'm home and I get to go to bed before midnight. It's like a full-on grown-up situation.
You're waiting for Heather's.
Yeah, there's that, which is cool. It's great. I mean, let's hope there isn't a writer strike soon. But like, other than that, like, it's been awesome. I wish I had a funnier answer, but like that's
No,
No,
we
that's
wanted
totally
to
it.
know
That's
like
like what you
what's
wanted to know,
bringing
yeah.
you the most joy.
Oh no,
so
yeah, it's like an actual life-changing
that's
thing.
fantastic.
It's been great.
I mean, the most people you were like, "What's the most joy?" They would not say my job. So
Yeah,
that's
No,
exactly.
it's my job.
That's the best part.
And it's like, not to be like political, but like I'm in a room full of like women and gay men and just like cool
Yeah.
people in general. And so it's like, I really feel like we're doing something kind of important with like the things we're saying and the kinds of jokes we're telling. And
there's straight guys in there too.
there are
Just-
two.
I'm going to
of
give a
them.
call out to Ryan. and
Ryan's my writing partner, and Dan, the writer, another writer. He's so also, but he's like kind of like stylish and pretty, so like people forget that he's straight.
Right.
But so anyway, but again, it's just being in a really friendly room of really like-minded, funny people, and the social aspect is wonderful. The work I think is really good. I'm really excited about it. So that's all.
Awesome. And how can people find you? I know they can find you on Twitter at Price Peterson.
I'm on the world's worst website, Twitter, called at Price Peterson. Instagram, same thing. I'm not like putting a lot on there because I feel so dumb and like exhausted when I get home. But but it's been the other day I told a saga of getting whipped by a wizard's wand and no one thought it was funny. So I got no feedback
on Twitter. Or Instagram?
I was like, I just thought it'd be funny if like you were having a battle with a wizard and they got out their like long thin like wooden wand and then started just whipping you with it instead of doing any magic. It'd be unexpected, right? So I told this whole saga about how I was whipped nearly to death by a wizard's wand and no one.
You were telling it.
No
on,
likes,
on
no
the
faves,
Twitters?
no responses.
No
on Twitter,
retweets?
no retweets. And I have like enough of a following from doing my recaps where I expected at least one.
I would have.
Yeah, you're certified,
part of
right? Or
that.
you're.
I have a blue
verified.
check.
I
yeah.
followed you
check.
just the other day. You had a check.
It gains you nothing. And it like, but it's been Twitter right now. If you just look at it, it's all just like angry political things, which is fine. But it makes me not want to be on it as much. And
I've been on Instagram a lot more recently.
yeah, it's nice, right?
Pretty pictures. Just give me
Pretty pictures. Yeah.
On that note, you guys, cheers, everyone.
Cheers
Thank you
to
so
the
much,
joy in
Price.
life. Thank
you
you.
for having
I
me.
just drink wine. I don't fuck with IPAs. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with minute maids. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with coffee mates. I just drink wine. Give me red, white, or say, don't touch me, motherfucker. I'm a sommelier.
Thanks for listening to episode 2. Check us out on iTunes, rate us, review, share with your friends.
Yeah. If you want to email us questions or comments or corrections from things.
Tell us what we messed up.
Yep. You can email us at thewinesituation@gmail.com. That's wine with an H. You can also find us on Instagram at thewinesituation. We'd also like to thank our crew from Covell, Matthew Kaner, Dustin Lancaster, also Gregory Condes for your knowledge, love, and support.
UCB for being a wonderful place to record, and Catherine Powell for writing our fantastic music with vocals by Catherine Powell, Susan Song, and Christine Little, who also happens to be our guest next week. Christine Little will tell us the story behind the music.
She sure will. It's the origin story. Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.